Okay, cycle 1, week 9 is called Crayfish Identification. So your directors are going to be supplying crayfish to you, and I know there's multiple ways that those can be gotten. People buy them from the grocery store and boil them. I just buy them from a science place that preserves them for me, so I've already bought them, and they've been being stored for a few months, and they could be stored for years more probably. But anyway, so a lovely passed away crayfish will be set up for you in science. And so there are lots of different opinions on whether you need a tray, a special kind of a dealie. So we just use paper plates in our community, just regular old paper plates, because these guys are small. So we don't need anything huge. So just a paper plate. Check out my little crayfish, because I'm not going to open my thing. So it's a little beanie baby. But so crayfish. And then these are some optional tools, okay? They need at least something they can poke at the crayfish with. But these are like wooden probes, and this is like some tweezers. I got these off of Cornerstone Educational Supply, which is also where I ordered my crayfish. And then gloves. Now, I found that the last time I went through this cycle, some kids just did not like wearing gloves. And that's fine. They can either do bare hands and then wash immediately after, or they can wear gloves. So their gloves are available if they want them. And then a magnifying glass, because remember, we're not dissecting this puppy. We are observing it. So then the other thing you need is some identification sheets. These are from Cornerstone Educational Supply. It's what I used last time. But you can just Google crayfish identification and you can find sheets online. Your director should be supplying those for you, but if not, they're really easy to find online. Nicole Liam, this is black and white, but she has it in color. Nicole Liam has some one-page crayfish identification thing in her lesson plan for this week, so it doesn't matter which one you use, you just need something. I happen to laminate these because I don't want crayfish like guts. Well, I wanted to reuse these, okay? These are from 3 years ago, so I didn't want them ruined by the crayfish. Not guts, because they're not dissecting them, but the moisture that they were stored in, formaldehyde or whatever it is. Okay, so they're just looking. They're just trying to identify all the parts on here. So this is not like a lecture week. This is a come in, sit down, check out your crayfish. Personally, in our community, I buy one crayfish for 2 kids. So we have 2 kids that are sitting side by side that are observing this crayfish. I actually, for the biggest kids, Cornerstone has this little sheet where they can pull off some of the parts and put them on this paper. So like the long antenna, the short antenna, the maxilliped, the mandible, the chilliped, the second parapod, the 5th parapod, and the swimmerets, they can actually pull them off of the crayfish and put them here. I definitely think that would be for the older kids. I think the younger kids would have a lot of trouble with that, but you know your kids. So you don't have to have the Cornerstone one for this. This is just what they did. So I'm showing this in case you want to create your own. That just steps it up for the older kids, right? It gives them more to do. It gives them more to observe and look at. And so you're just spending the whole time just observing this crayfish, looking at all of its parts. You know, they can do whatever they want. And then last time we went through this cycle, because we didn't dissect it, I did have families who wanted to take them home. So I had like quart size Ziploc bags available, and whoever wanted to take a crayfish home could. I had, even though I only bought, one per 2 students, I had enough crayfish that everybody who wanted one got to take one home. So that is the crayfish week. Enjoy this because there's really not any prep for you. So yay!